The house watched us from the moment we arrived. It was a looming presence, a Gothic mansion perched atop a windswept hill. We should have known better, should have heeded the warnings whispered by the townsfolk. But we were blinded by the allure of its beauty, by the promise of a fresh start. How quickly hope curdles into fear. My husband John was captivated by the house's grandeur. He saw only potential in its faded elegance. Our children, Lily and Sam, were too young to understand the danger that lurked beneath the surface. I, however, felt a chill run down my spine the moment we crossed the threshold. The air inside was heavy, stagnant, as if the house itself was holding its breath. We spent the next few days unpacking and settling in. John threw himself into the task of restoring the house to its former glory. He saw it as a challenge, a way to leave his mark on the world. I, however, felt a growing unease. It was as if the house resented our presence, as if it were watching our every move. I tried to shake off the feeling, telling myself it was just the stress of the move. I wish now that I had listened to my instincts. The silence was the first thing to unsettle us. It was a suffocating silence, broken only by the creaking of the house and the howling of the wind outside. Even the children, usually so full of life, seemed subdued, their laughter swallowed by the oppressive atmosphere. I found myself whispering as if afraid to break the silence. John, ever the pragmatist, dismissed my concerns. He blamed the silence on the house's age, on its isolation. He refused to acknowledge the growing sense of dread that had taken root in my heart. He would regret his skepticism soon enough. Sleep offered little respite. The nights were filled with strange noises, floorboards groaning, whispers carried on the wind, the sensation of unseen eyes watching us. I would lie awake for hours, listening to the house breathe, my heart pounding in my chest. The third day. That was when the true horror began. Lily's ball, a bright red sphere full of childish laughter, vanished without a trace. We searched the house from top to bottom, but it was gone. That night I could have sworn I heard Lily's muffled sobs coming from within the walls. John, of course, dismissed it as a nightmare. He refused to see, refused to believe. Then came the whispers, soft at first, barely audible murmurs that seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves. They grew louder, more insistent, as the days turned into nights. They spoke of unspeakable things, of ancient rituals and forgotten gods. They whispered my name. John tried to rationalize the whispers, attributing them to drafts or faulty wiring. But I knew the truth. The house was alive, and it was hungry. Our once peaceful home had transformed into a nightmare. Shadows danced in the corners of our vision. Disembodied footsteps echoed through the empty halls. The children, their innocence shattered, clung to us in terror. We had become prisoners in our own home. One night, desperate for answers, John set up a camera in the hallway, hoping to capture evidence of the strange occurrences. What we saw on the footage chilled us to the bone. For a fleeting moment, a pair of glowing eyes appeared in the darkness, staring directly at the camera. They were filled with an ancient malice, a hunger that transcended human comprehension. The house was no longer content with whispers and shadows. It was becoming bolder, its malevolence seeping into our reality. Section 5. The Pendant's Curse. John, shaken to his core by the footage, finally acknowledged the truth. The house was not just haunted, it was evil. Driven by a desperate need to understand, he began researching the house's history, spending countless hours poring over dusty old records and crumbling documents. His search led him to the attic, where he stumbled upon a hidden compartment behind a loose brick. Inside, he found a tarnished silver pendant, its intricate design both beautiful and unsettling. A single word was etched on its back: consume. Alongside the pendant lay a leather-bound journal, its pages filled with frantic, faded writing. The journal chronicled the house's dark past. It spoke of a cult that once worshipped an ancient entity within its walls, offering sacrifices to appease its insatiable hunger. The pendant, it claimed, was a key, a conduit to the entity's power. Section 6. The House Awakens. As if awakened by the discovery of its secrets, the house unleashed its full fury. The walls seemed to pulsate with a malevolent energy. The air grew thick and heavy, making it difficult to breathe. The temperature plummeted, a bone-chilling cold that seeped deep into our bones. Objects moved on their own, propelled by an unseen force. Doors slammed shut, trapping us in our rooms. The whispers escalated into blood-curdling screams, echoing through the house, tormenting us with visions of unspeakable horrors. The house was no longer merely haunted. It was alive, its hunger growing with each passing moment. We were trapped in a nightmare, at the mercy of something ancient and evil, and it was only a matter of time before it consumed us all. Section 7. Trapped. Panic set in. We were prisoners in our own home, hunted by an unseen force. The house seemed to contort around us, the hallways stretching and twisting, leading us in circles. Doors slammed shut, separating us, trapping us in a labyrinth of our own fear. John, his face pale and drawn, clutched the pendant in his hand, his eyes glazed over. The house was sinking its claws into him, twisting his love for the house into something dark and possessive. He became distant, his words a hollow echo of the man he once was. We had to escape. We had to get out before the house claimed us all, body and soul. Section 8. Escape. We have to go. Now! I screamed, shaking John's shoulder. He blinked, a flicker of recognition in his eyes, but it was quickly extinguished, replaced by a chilling emptiness. The pendant pulsed with an eerie light, casting grotesque shadows on his face. Terror lent us strength. We had to save ourselves, even if it meant leaving John behind. Lily and Sam, their faces streaked with tears, followed me as I raced through the house, the floorboards groaning beneath our feet. The air was thick with the stench of decay and the sound of our own ragged breathing. We burst through the front door and into the storm-ravaged night. The house loomed behind us, a malevolent silhouette against the raging sky. As we ran, I could have sworn I heard John's voice, cold and hollow, whispering my name. Section 9. The hunger remains. We never looked back. We fled the town, leaving behind everything we owned, everything we thought we knew. The horrors we experienced in that house have left an indelible mark on our souls, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurks beneath the surface of our world. Sometimes, in the dead of night, I wake from nightmares, the echo of whispers still ringing in my ears. I see the glint of silver in the darkness, feel the weight of an unseen gaze upon me. The house may be gone, but the hunger remains. It is a hunger that can never be satiated, a darkness that will never truly die. And I know, with a certainty that chills me to my core, that it is only a matter of time before it finds new prey. And sometimes I wonder, did the pendant's glow mean Silas is still alive?